Lucid dreaming is basically waking up in your dream and realizing that you're dreaming. And then once you start lucid dreaming, you realize that you have control over your dream and you can do all sorts of different things. You can create different lands in front of you, you can fly around, you can really do anything that you could possibly conceive of. And so lucid dreaming, it can be very fun, and it's one of my favorite pastimes. I love to lucid dream and try to trip in my dreams. I love to fly around. I just love to do anything that I could possibly think of, and I love to do things that defy this reality in dreaming, and so that's why I love to fly so much. And actually, usually when I start flying in my dreams, that's one of my dream signs that I pick up, because I know that it defies all of the normal boundaries of reality. So as soon as I start flying, I realize, oh, I'm dreaming. Then I can become lucid, and then I usually start flying into whatever world that I would like to create for myself. And sometimes I will start tripping in my dreams, and I've kind of done a video on that, so I won't emphasize that so much in this video. But I do all sorts of crazy fun things in my dreams, and anybody can, and that's what's so fun about dreams, is that they can just be a playground, and it's completely healthy to lucid dream, and it's dreaming and being in an REM state. To be able to have dreams is a perfectly normal and part of sleeping, and everyone does have REM in their dreams unless you have serious sleep disturbances. There's several different induction techniques that you can try to stimulate having lucid dreams, but first, really what you really need to do is be able to remember your dreams. And so I would suggest either having a dream journal, or maybe even having a little tape recorder or something right next to you when you wake up. But the main thing is to keep track of your dreams. So as soon as you wake up, write the dream down or record it into the tape recorder. And that way you won't forget it, because a lot of times when you wake up and a few hours pass, you can't hardly remember any of the dream. And so it's a really good idea to get it down and record it right away. And it's a good idea to try to see if you can remember your dreams, at least 1 or 2 dreams a night before you start really trying to delve into lucid dreaming. Because if you can't remember your dreams, you're not really going to be able to remember that you were even lucid dreaming or not. And the next technique is one that I use all the time, and I never really used it by knowing its name, but doing research for this video, I realized that they actually have a name for it, and it's called mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, and they call it MILD. And what it basically consists of is that you go to sleep at night with the intention that you're going to have a lucid dream. And then when you're in your dream, you try to pick up a dream sign that makes you know that you're dreaming, and so then you can wake up. And like I just told you guys, my dream sign is that I know that I'm flying. And it's the easiest thing for me. But there's lots of different dream signs that people do. Some people will look at parts of their body to see if they're the right shape and size. Because sometimes when you're dreaming, your body's shape can be distorted. Or like some people will look at their hand, and their hand will have like 7 fingers on it or something, and they'll know, oh, well, okay, that's irrational, I'm dreaming. And anything that you can pick up that kind of will make you think, you know, that doesn't seem right. Or like you can look at a clock, and it's a digital clock, and it'll have like all sorts of weird symbols on there. Or you can try to turn on light switches. And usually when you turn on light switches in a dream, like turn them off and on, usually it doesn't really affect the light in the dream. And so you'll know when you start flipping on and off light switches, when things don't change, that you're dreaming. And some people suggest to be able to better pick out dream signs like that is to actually try to do it throughout the day. And so if you want to try to look at lights, let's say, and light switches, then periodically throughout your normal waking state, you should flip on and off lights every once in a while. I know people might think you're kind of crazy, but if you get used to doing it in your waking state, then when you're dreaming, you will most likely do it, and then it'll be your cue. And so, I don't know, I never really used anything that complex, but I definitely have heard of people having success using those methods. For me, it's just easy for me to pick out that when I'm flying, I know that I'm not in reality anymore. There's another method called WILD, and it's wake initiation of lucid dreams. And I've done this on several occasions too, and again, I didn't really know what the technical term for it was or anything, but basically the concept is that you, just like the MILD, you go to sleep with the intention that you are going to sleep and you're going to have a lucid dream, but you actually, when you go to sleep, you don't, when you start drifting off and you start having all through the hypnagogic state, and you start having a lot of hypnagogic imagery and everything, you maintain a constant frame of consciousness. So you don't really go to sleep and then start dreaming, you know, because a lot of times, especially during the beginning of the night, we go to sleep and then we have a period of time where we might not remember a lot, like right after the hypnagogic phase, and then that's when we start dreaming, we start going into the REM phase. And so with the wild method, you don't really want to do that. You want to try to make your body and make your consciousness remember and everything all the way through it. And really, they say it's easiest to do this when you are like taking a nap in the afternoon, or if you've already woken up in the middle of the night and you're going back to sleep for a second time. One thing that I learned is that during the afternoon, I think it is very easy for me to do this, but during sleeping, waking up in the middle of the night, it's really cool if, like, what I've tried to do is I try to like imagine myself spinning. And I don't remember where I read this, but I read it in some lucid dream book a long time ago. And it actually works. So like, let's say you wake up and you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, so you're still half asleep. You go lay back down in bed the second time, and if you try to imagine yourself spinning and spinning and spinning, and then you're spinning back into the same dream, and if you try to remember where the other dream left off, and then you can sort of like bridge the gap between, it's like you won't lose consciousness because you can remember where the other dream took off, and for some reason the spinning helps, and imagining yourself spinning back into it. I don't know why, but it actually does help. And also, if you notice yourself starting to wake up, because that's a lot of times what people have problems with, is when they're lucid dreaming, they realize they're lucid and then they start to wake up. And what I've noticed is if I imagine myself spinning around in circles in the dream, and I kind of make myself dizzy in the dream, for some reason that spinning will like spin my dream forward. And again, I don't know why that works. And I wish I could find the book that I read it in, but whoever's tip this was, it was great. So if one of you guys know what book that's in, post it on here for people, because I can't remember. But anyway, I know that it works. And so it's much easier to attain a mild induction method than a wild induction method. So that's one thing to say. So if you can't just have one solid stream of consciousness through it all, don't feel bad, because it's not that easy to attain. I can't do it all the time, you know. I can easily lucid dream using the mild method, but the wild method is kind of hit and miss, you know. Maybe it happens sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't. There are many supplements that people can take during lucid dreams, and I am doing another video on that, so you guys can look for that later on this week. And also, I've done a video on the Dream Director, and so if you guys want to have an actual, an actual mechanical way to try to induce lucid dreams, the Dream Director is a very good way to try to do that. I think there's something for everybody when it comes to lucid dreaming, and there's a way for everybody to do it. Whether you want to do it the scientific kind of mechanical way, where you want to induce it using a Dream Director or some other dream face mask type system, or whether you want to use it chemically inducing it with different plants, or whether you just want to do it naturally. I think that everybody could benefit from lucid dreaming. If you have any experiences with lucid dreaming that you would like to share, go ahead and post them as video responses or in the comment section. And I've also put different information in the description area, so if you guys would like to follow those links, you can find more information there.